we are underway. The final race in round-robin phase 2. This is race number 3. We're on board American Magic, trailing Luna Rossa out of the gate. Day 3 of the Prada Cup round-robin series, and the 36th America's Cup was about to take a dramatic turn. Heading towards the top gate for the last time, 35 knots, American Magic. This will be a huge weight off the shoulders. Hunting their first win, American Magic held the lead going into the final leg. Turned quickly, was hit by a sudden gust. The entire 6.5 tons of race yacht was sent airborne. Whoa, hang on! American Magic! My goodness! They are over!
We'll never forget the American Magic crash. You know, those moments are hard for me because we have a solemn vow inside the TV production studio and inside of our booth is that we don't talk until we can count all the heads.
Chase boats now getting to the attention of the American Magic crew.
So when that boat just took off, going 40-something knots, 55 miles an hour or something like that, that was like, heart in mouth moment. So Leon and I both on the button within 2 seconds. Leon, do you see the heads? We got to start counting heads. And he's like, count heads. Don't say a word till we count heads. And fortunately, I think it was the low helicopter shot came around, and just at that time, one last helmet, and we're counting. I'm like, everybody sure there's 11 on this boat? 11, 11, 11, 11, 11.
We counted all 11 people, so it looked like all people were accounted for, all 11 crew members.
And as soon as that was done, and the boat popped up, and all of a sudden we only were on the air for about 20 more seconds after the boat popped up. And I just remember saying out loud, oh my God.
Oh my God, the boat turned sideways.
I remember they were on my side and capsizing, and first thing was saying to my crew, okay, now we have to get the boat to the finish line. Stop pushing this hard.
The race is abandoned when one boat capsizes. You can always drop the board after, so be generous on that.
And obviously I was thinking about them, hoping that everybody was safe. That's the first thing.
The horror of the capsize was relived and retold by American Magic skipper Terry Hutchinson.
40 seconds before the top mark, we're sailing along in about 12 knots of wind, and everything's pretty benign.
Heading towards the top gate for the last time, 35 knots, American Magic. This will be a huge weight off the shoulders.
About 20 seconds before the left turn, breeze comes up to 16, 17, and you can hear the audio on board, and the breeze goes left, so you hear a little bit of high pitch from easing the jib. As we go into the maneuver, Dean makes a clear call, left turn. He'll stay to leeward for the bear away. And as we go to bear away, basically, about a 23.5 knot puff dropped down on top of us, and over she went.
Turning down in 3, 2, 1, turning down now.
Whoa, hang on. American Magic! My goodness!
They are over!
They capsized. They capsized.
My most vivid memory is when I heard Dean say, I've lost the rudder.
Lost the rudder here.
I basically, I'm clipped into the boat, so I went to eject myself out of the boat, and my clip didn't come undone, which straight away got my cackles up, and so then I went for the knife. The cockpit filled up straight away, and it very quickly went from everything's in okay to a pretty high fever from my perspective, as I straight away was underwater and pinned underneath the mainsail. As Sicho went by me, he could see that my head was underwater and that I was trapped. Cooper grabbed his knife and cut the left one and got me out. From there, all four of us popped out from underneath the mainsail and did the head count, and we were all, everybody was safe. Very quickly, it became apparent that Patriot had suffered some major damage, and when we got her upright, it was clear that there was a hole, and it very quickly went to a rescue operation of the boat. At the time, it felt like we had one air pocket in the boat that was keeping her afloat. I think we all thought the boat was going to sink.
Racing is a completely different game, no? Because you push the limit of the boat, you don't have fear because you want to win the race. I think the capsize of American Magic has been a consequence of many, it's probably not up to me to say mistake, but and probably it's been a little bit of bad luck because when they decided to bear away, Dino was to leeward, probably didn't see the path coming. But that is sport. I mean, you cannot control everything.
It's going to be a hard maneuver. It's going to be a real hard maneuver. Setting down at 3, 2, 1, setting down now.
In that situation, the boat's designed for a certain amount of impact, but having watched and looked at the pictures, I can tell you we were well beyond the threshold. From a team perspective and the actual saving of Patriot, we had pumps on the water, we have floats on the water, we have basically everything you need to keep the boat from sinking. We ended up with 16 pumps in the boat. We put 6 of our pumps in the boat. It wasn't enough. We attached all of our marks to the bow and to the stern of the boat, and that would have kept her, had she actually gone underneath the surface. I mean, well, she was, but had she gone completely under, the boat would have floated, a meter below the surface with everything that we had. We received some incredible support from the New Zealand authorities, from the fire and rescue. We received incredible support from, truly unbelievable support from Team New Zealand, from Ineos and Luna Rossa.
We knew when you sail with this boat, like the AC-72 or the 75, you could flip over with this boat because they are on the limit most of the time. And it's gonna happen, but you cannot think that too much when you're sailing because otherwise you're making the mistake because you pull the brake, And I think the big message and the big thing we learned is the community was there when the problem happened, and all the team. I think seeing all the team, the sailor, the shore team of all the team being involved and try to rescue a boat which was almost sunk, I think it's been a great images for our sport and for the sport in general, no?
It was hard because we have 3 years invested into this boat. We got back to shore. We had a good plan to get the rig out, to get the boat out of the water, and we had a good team meeting inside the shed. And then I think one of the strengths of American Magic and of our team as a whole is the people. And from here on out, we just allowed the people to do their jobs.
And at the end of this weekend, Prada, who is challenged for the America's Cup a record 5 times, and New York Yacht Club, who held the America's Cup for 132 straight years, one of them's going home.
So Patriot's been, she's coming back to life. They're turning the boat on, and really the heartbeat of the boat is going again, which is really exciting.
American Magic pulled off the impossible. They got back in the water, but it was a tough watch, seeing the rebuilt Patriot struggle after that horrendous capsize.
There's nothing that gets you going more than getting your teeth kicked in.
American Magic is in a very vulnerable spot right now, very vulnerable.
Oh, a big crash there for the American team. Hard in the water. I think something might be wrong with the boat.
Was there a chance that American Magic was ever going to be the same again? Probably not. I think there were other flaws in their program that kind of came to light. You can't blame it all on flipping the boat over.
Luna Rossa go 2-0 against Patriot.
Well, the message to the team is simple. On board racing, we have to understand the mistakes that we made and improve upon them.
This is a tough day for this team.
In the Christmas series, we probably saw too good a boat, and everybody else knew where the bar was and knew what to exceed. And when the boat was getting fixed, they didn't get faster. Matter of fact, they probably took a slight step backwards. So because of that, the other two just went blowing by. It wasn't close anymore.
Luna, Rossa, Prada, Pirelli are in the box seat. They only need 2 more wins and they go straight through to the Prada Cup final.
We opened the door and they just walked right through and took the opportunity presented.
Yep, going speed, he's slow.